Alright guys, thank you for tuning in again. Today we're going to show you how to remove the RSX cluster. It's already out of the car, so it's going to be quite easy to show you how this is done. And then we're also going to remove the radio, the stock radio on the RSX. So let me go ahead and put you guys on the tripod, and we'll get started on removing the RSX cluster. Alright, sorry. Alright, so what you'll need is a star screwdriver. So you need your star screwdriver and a flathead. So you want to start with removing the 3 bolts located right under the steering wheel. Pretty much where your kick panel is going to be at, where your pedals are at. So go ahead and remove those. You know what? Alright, now that you have those 3 bolts removed, make sure the key is not in the ignition. Put that aside, and it should feel loose. Should have some wiggle room. Alright, this is where you want to grab the flathead and go ahead and pry where it splits. Pretty much where your signal light and your wiper is at. Go ahead and pry up on that. Just work your way around, because there's tabs on it, and you don't want to break those tabs because it won't sit correctly when you go to install it back in. Alright, now we have the top half off. This is where it clips into place. Clips in right where you see these pillars. This is where it's going to snap into place. So you have 2 on the rear, 2 on the rear, and then 2 right behind the steering wheel. So you go ahead and put that aside. And now you should be able to take the bottom half off. Before you go ahead and take the bottom half off, make sure the steering wheel adjust lever is placed directly down towards your feet. And you're going to want to start over here where your ignition is at. Pull out towards you. And then go ahead and wiggle it through here. Usually just some left and right movement. And it's out. It's good to go. So that's pretty much how it goes. See the pillars? That's how they snap in, and you'll hear them clip on when you apply that pressure. So that's that. We'll put that aside. Right, and I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys closer here. See if you guys can see this. Well, you guys can't see this. Yeah, so you have one bolt you can't see it on the camera because it's so dark in there and it's so deep in there. But if you look where this hole is right here, right there, it's literally right on the left-hand side back. And that's also a star screwdriver. And then the same thing on this side. I'll go ahead and show you guys. So there's you have your bolt here. It's a 12 millimeter. And then you have that hole right here. It's literally on the right-hand side, pushed back. And it's a black star screwdriver. So we'll go ahead and remove those now. With our screwdriver. Alright, there it is there, and you'll have just 2 of those, and that's pretty much what holds in the cluster. So you should be able to take out the cluster once you have those 2 bolts removed. Alright, there's the other one. Alright, so now that those are removed, the exact same spot where the bolts came out, you'll push right up on it, and that'll remove the cluster. Well, at least get it out to where you can grab it. I'll go ahead and show you. So I have this this screwdriver here. It's about a 6-inch screwdriver from here to here, and that's what I'm going to use to press up on that cluster. I'll go ahead and show you. So right where the bolt came out, take a look. You see the cluster move. And that's how you can get it out. So let me go ahead and get that out now. Alright. You just want to wiggle back and forth until you get it to come out. I dropped it. Now we'll wiggle it. And you'll have 2 pigtails on the back of this cluster. Little wiggle, you should be able to get it out. Again, it's still connected in there with the 2 pigtails. So you want to disconnect those. And if you can get behind it, I know it's tough because you can't see, but there's a pop tab where you want to press the tab and pull. Alright, I have one that came off, as you can see. Alright, so there's that. You have the two pigtails, that's where they'll go in from behind. And then these are the two screws that we removed right under the steering column. So there you have it, RX cluster removed. It's quite simple. It's just a little wiggling and actually getting it to the right position to come out. Once you have it in the right position to come out, you know, should be easy as pie. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the radio portion. So the radio right there, it's quite simple. You're going to use the flathead and again the screwdriver. Down here you have the panel. When it's in the car, your shifter box will be right here, and the cup as well as the tray will be right here, and then you'll have a plastic cover. The plastic cover actually pops in right here, right there, right there, and if I'm not mistaken, it might also pop in right here. So what you want to do is get your flathead and pry it on each area, right there, right here up top, right here up top, right over here you want to pry out, and then right there. Then you'll have access to this area here. Alright. So let me back that up just a bit. Alright. So, pretty sure you can see it on the camera. There's one screw right here and another screw right here. There are 8mm bolts. They're also a star, so you can use a star screwdriver. So go ahead and remove those now. And that's pretty much the only two screws or bolts, per se, that are actually holding the radio into place, besides the connectors in the back of the radio. So now that you have those two bolts removed, you go ahead and grab the flathead or a pry bar, at least decent in size, and there'll be clips that pop the front of the face into the dash. So you want to pry on each side. You'll hear those clips snap out of place. You want to go from left to right, right to left, and as you can see, she's pretty much out. So go ahead and get a grip on her and pry that out. Got one clip that's being stubborn. Normally it just pops right out, but right now it's being pretty stubborn. There you go. Alright. Now that she's out, wiggle it out. as they say, wiggle it, wiggle it. All right. Ooh. All right, let's take a look here. All right. My hands are quite small, so I'm able to get through this portion right here. But if you can disconnect the connector from the back, go straight to the radio, or you can get it from up top. And then also there's a hazard light you want to disconnect as well. The hazard button, there's that right there. You just press it in and pull it out. Alright. Actually, after you disconnect that hazard, you have a little bit more room. If your hands aren't small enough to get through that hole where I went through, grab the flathead, and there's another pop clip, so you'll go ahead and push and pry back. So you'll push and pry back. There's also the antenna, which just comes right out. So there you have it. The antenna goes right there in the back. The plugs go right there. And the two screws, they go right there. So now you have your OEM radio removed, and your dash is ready for an aftermarket one. I believe they do sell a double DIN face if you're going to go with the double DIN. So go ahead and replace that face of your radio and get that aftermarket one in there. Alright, check it out. Alright, so now you have the whole dash radio removed, open. You have your two connectors right here. Here's your hazard connector. Here's your OEM radio connector. And then you have your dash the dash cluster is completely out. Again, with the dash, there's two pigtails. I'll go ahead and show you right here. You have 1, 2, and they're both different sizes. This one being smaller, this one being larger. So there's no chance of you mixing up these plugs on your cluster. They should be plug and play into the correct area where they need to go. And that's pretty much it for today. If you guys liked the video, as always, subscribe, like, and comment, and don't forget to share the videos. Thanks again, and you have yourself a great day, guys. Thanks for tuning in.